Welcome to a brand new episode of Finmet Mondays. Sunil, last week we did see a good recovery in both metals, gold and silver. A lot of it was dip buying, but the question on everyone's mind is what prompted some of the selling to happen in the first place? Is there some shift fundamentally that we're observing in the investment landscape that could have led to that selling? And conversely, as well, where did you observe buying strength emerged also because of which gold and silver both were able to rise up from those lows?
There are actually three factors that you should keep in mind when you're looking at what happened in the market over the last couple of weeks. One is very well documented that Middle Eastern banks have been selling gold. They talk about a total of between 100 to 150 tons that was sold over the last 2 weeks. And that's actually quite fine because that's what gold is meant for, right? People and central banks keep gold reserves because that's a best way to easily liquidate in case of an emergency. And I think some of the banks felt that they needed liquidity, so that's why they sold. And also what you're seeing is the retail demand seems to be quite tepid. It's quite low. When we look at the gold ETF, we see that the holdings have been around 1,050 tons for the last 2 weeks. There's not really too much activity there. And on top of it, what you're seeing is the US data for last week showed job growth is very good. And what that means is that the Fed has little reason to cut rates. So rates remain higher, US dollar remains stronger, and therefore gold is weaker. So all of those factors were pulling gold towards the downside. But I think encouragingly, what you're seeing is still some professional investors, family offices, and maybe some Asian central banks buying gold. And that's offset the bearish sentiment that I talked about earlier. So between the new investment in gold, especially given the uncertainty of what's happening in the Middle East, and all the other factors where people are selling gold, I think we have a balance. And that's why you see gold solidly in this sort of 4,500, 4,700 kind of band.
Thanks for that recap. Technically, we are looking at from the downside, it's 4,300 and 4,400, which are the main psychological supports that we have, right? So we don't know based on tomorrow's key event, which is Trump's ultimatum to Iran, how the markets are going to, play out. But let's see. Up till then, we're expecting big moves and a lot of volatility this week. So let's see how the markets play out this week, Sunil. Till then, thank you so much and goodbye.